do in this course is order of operations, because it's going to come up throughout the course when you're plugging numbers into formulas to make sure that you can put everything in correctly and get the correct answer. So as a reminder, some students remember order of operation with PEMDAS, but you need to be careful with that, because with the last two, the multiply and divide, those are always going to come before subtraction, but you're going to do whichever one comes first in order from left to right. So in other words, if there's a division first, you'll do that. If there's multiplication first, you'll do that. And then similarly with addition and subtraction, again, if subtraction comes first, then you're going to do that one first. So the MD and the AS, are are a little misleading there with PEMDAS, but it still helps you remember that like multiplication comes before addition, division comes before subtraction, that sort of thing. All right, let's give it a try. We have an example here, 5 minus 2 times 7. So you might be tempted to subtract 5 minus 2, but you remember that your order of operations, so you have to multiply first. So it's 5 minus 14. So we'll stick that in the calculator, and I get -9. Let me write that a little nicer. There we go. All right, example B, 2 minus 3 plus 4. So if you're following PEMDAS in the exact order that it's written, you might be tempted to add first, but actually the order of operations say that you need to do whichever operation comes first when it's down to addition and subtraction. And subtraction comes first, so 2 minus 3 is -1, plus 4 would give me 3. So notice that would be different if you added first, you'd get 7. 2 minus 7 is -5, so it's a completely different answer. All right, C. Same thing, a lot of people would mess this up and do the multiplication first, but between division and multiplication, you do whichever one comes first from left to right, and that would be the division. 20 divided by 5 is 4, and then multiply that by 2, and you get 8. Example D. All right, so parentheses is straightforward. If you have parentheses, then that's what you do first. So 14 minus 2, and then 3 plus 4 is 7. Now we have the operations of multiplication and subtraction, and we do want to multiply first. So 2 times 7 is 14, and then 14 minus 14 is 0. Example E. So for this one, we have 2 sets of parentheses. It doesn't matter which one we do first. So 18 minus 8 is 10. And then 5 minus 3 is 2. And then there's just one operation left to divide, and that's 5. F looks like some of your finance formulas. So again, we want to do parentheses first. So that'd be 1.04. And then the other thing that's straightforward are the exponents. So I'm going to do 1.04 squared in my calculator. And I got 1.0816. If you're not sure where the square button is in your calculator, don't hesitate to ask, and I can help you find it. In most calculators, it looks like this. But you might, if you don't have that, you'll have a key that looks like this. It's called a caret key, and you can put the number in, any number you want, and then put the 2 after to square it. You can also use that button to cube or to the 4th power or whatever you need. All right, so now this is kind of a unique one. We have division and multiplication, but it's not a matter of which one comes first per se. We have a numerator and a denominator, so I'm just going to clean up the numerator and multiply the 1000 times 1.0816, and that's going to be 1081.6. And that gets put over 2.5. So now we just have the one operation left, and actually it wouldn't really matter here if you divided first and then multiplied. So with the fraction bar, usually I just take care of whatever's on the top, whatever's on the bottom, and then finally divide. Because if it were addition or subtraction, then you would want to be careful and just kind of clean up the top, clean up the bottom, and then you have division be your last step. PEMDAS really doesn't handle this situation that well. All right, so I went ahead and divided, and that's 432.64. You might be wondering, well, how many decimals do I round to? There wasn't any specification here, so I just put both decimals since it wasn't too bad.